Hey guys, it's Miss N or Miss Nairelys, whatever you decide to call me. Today I'm gonna just show you guys how I do like regular makeup so that you guys can do it. I don't have a lot of expensive products, so it's gonna be easy for you guys to do it. And if you would like to follow along with me, you could do that as well. So I hope you guys enjoy. So I'm going to start off with some Aveeno moisturizer. I'm just going to place it all around my face, my nose, my forehead, which is where it gets most dry. So you just want to, you know your face, so you really just want to put it anywhere that you think that is very dry, and also just apply it everywhere. Pack some on, make it look nice. And I put this in the beginning so that it can just settle in and that I'm not like rushing to put my makeup on, so I just let it sit there while I do my eyes. After I apply my moisturizer, I usually go to my eyebrows. So I'm gonna use this LA Girl eyebrow dip. I just got it at Target and it works very well. After I seen the product, I'm in love with it. So I'm using this brush. It's called Equals Tool, and this brush is not. I don't think it's for eyebrows, but it works very well. So sometimes you don't like have to use what the makeup brushes called for or is told to like that it's made for, but sometimes you can use other brushes for other things. So this I found works very well for my eyebrows. So I'm just going to do the exact same thing to my other eyebrow. I'm going to start from the very back of that eyebrow and I'm going to work my way towards up. And I usually pack more in at the bottom and then I slowly loosen it at the top. Once my eyebrows are all done, I go to my eyelids. So I'm going to place this Maybelline concealer in the shade of 15. And I do this because when I pack my eyeshadow on, I don't want it to just fall off. I want it to actually stick on there. So this helps the eyeshadow stay on the eyelid. So what I do now is I take a brush and I just kind of blend in the concealer. So I don't want it to just be plops there because then that's where the eyeshadow is going to fall in. So I'm trying to just smooth it out. I just smooth it out as possible and I kind of shape in my eyebrow with that as well. That helps with that. And now I'm gonna just take my beauty blender and I'm gonna kind of not soak it, but make it a little bit damp in rose water. You can do this with regular water, but rose water is what I had, so that's what I use. And then this just helps again just smooth out the concealer so that it's not just a big old clump there. The good thing with this concealer is that it really doesn't matter if it gets on your face because you can just cover it with the foundation. So you just want it to kind of be a thin layer of concealer on your eyelid. I'm gonna go for a pinkish brownish look, which is what I usually do because it's kind of the most like natural look. It's very simple. So I'm gonna use my palette and I'm gonna use the Soulful color in pink. It's kind of like a shimmery, more on the purplish side, so it gives it a little pop. I'm gonna start applying my eyeshadow with a flat brush. This just helps me kind of pack it in there, especially with pink. Pink is very hard to get it to show up, especially if it's not like a hot pink. So I'm just kind of packing it in there, and where you want to start is at the inner corner. The inner corner, I feel like for me, it's better to place the um lighter color within the inner corner, and so I'm just gonna pack it on there and work my way out of the corner, not too much but just enough so that it you can see the color and so that it's not just all in one corner. So I'm just gonna use a brush called, it's a Eco Tool brush, and it's the blend side. These brushes usually have two ends to it, so that's very helpful as well. So I'm just using the blending part of that brush. So now I'm gonna take a angle brush, but an angle brush that's more of that's flat, and then I'm gonna use the color Java, and I'm gonna just place it on the outer corner of my eye and work it towards the inner corner to mix it in with the pink. What you see right now is me placing the brown on the outer corner, just placing it there, kind of leaving it there, but it doesn't look right. So I'm going to take the blending brush and I'm just going to blend it until it looks good, until it looks like it belongs there. So blending does take a little bit of work, so be patient and just take your time, and it will eventually look right. The more you blend, the more it's going to look right. So this is a new part of my makeup routine that I've been doing because I actually learned this on TikTok recently. And what I do is I just take my Airspun translucent powder and I put it all over my face before I start my actual foundation. And so I just take a brush and I just put it all over, and then once that is done, I will spray my face with some setting spray. This actually helps a lot with any oily skin. It helps the makeup stay on much longer than it typically would. So this is a good tip if you want a long-lasting makeup. So now I'm going to start covering some of my dark spots with the same concealer I had used for my eyes, Maybelline in shade 15. I just cover a couple of dark spots that I see. Once I have covered any spots with the concealer, I will go over with a beauty blender and just smooth the concealer out so that it's not just a big old blop on my face. So after I cover any dark spots that I see, I'm going to grab my foundation, which is a Maybelline foundation in skin tone 312. It lasts very long and it works very well. It's a cheap foundation, but it works very well. So what I did was I put some foundation on my hand. It makes it easier for me to just make sure I have the right amount. I don't want to put a lot of foundation on my face. That's not really how I like doing my makeup. So I just take a small brush and I just put some lines on my face. I guess that helps me to make sure I have the right amount and kind of makes it more even for me. The brush that I am using is another Equals tool brush. It's I'm not sure what it's supposed to be used for, but I use it for just spreading out my foundation. It works very well. These brushes are found at Target, so they're pretty affordable and they're nice. As you are blending in your foundation and making sure that it's spread out evenly, you want to be making sure that you put it down on your neck because you don't want your face to be a different color from your neck. You want to make sure that it's blended in correctly. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on a little bit of a small contour, not too defined. I'm going to use this Maybelline concealer in the shade 30. Can't really see it, it was blurry, but it is in the shade 30. So I'm just going to apply this to my cheek. Do a small line. You do not want the lines to go all the way down near your mouth. And then I'm going to apply it on the very tip of my forehead and on um my neck as well. And then I'm going to use a brush that is not meant for this, but it works very well. So if you have like a flat brush like the one I just showed you, it works very well to just blend it all out. And you want to kind of go in a motion where you're going up towards the thing, towards your eyes, and not just brushing it down towards your mouth. So I'm going to take my beauty blender and I'm going to put some powder on it. It should be damp. That helps the setting powder really come out nicely. And so I'm just going to put it under my eyelids, and then I'm going to also put it on my nose and on the bottom of my face. A lot of people do concealer before this step. I just don't necessarily use it, but it does work. So if you want to use concealer before this step, then you can do that, and you would place that exactly where the powder is. I'm going to take the same brush that I used for when I first applied the powder in the first step. I'm going to just take all the powder off. I kind of waited about 3 minutes in between putting it on and then taking it off. You don't want to take it off too early or too soon. So I took it off in 3 minutes, I believe. So now I'm going to place some bronzer on my cheek. So now I'm going to just do my eyelashes. I'm going to use my eyelash curler and press it down for maybe about 5 to 10 seconds. And then I am going to take a Maybelline um, mascara, and I'm going to apply that to my lower lashes and my upper lashes. So now I'm going to take my bronzer palette that has blush and highlight, and I'm going to use the highlight. I really like this highlight. I'm actually not sure where I got this palette from, but it's probably Maybelline or something. That's where all my makeup is from. But I just take the highlight, and I just apply it to my upper cheekbones, and I apply it to my nose. And yeah, that just makes everything pop. And so for the last bit, I'm just gonna use a Victoria's Secret lip gloss. It's very sparkly, but it's just very nice. I like it. I've had it for a while now. It costs a bit, but it lasts very long. And then I'm just gonna take my setting spray, and I'm just gonna spray my face, and that is it. Guys, this is what it looks like when it is done. Um, there's steps in there that you don't have to take if you don't want to. You don't have to do a full face. It's just something fun that I thought you guys would enjoy, so I really hope that you did, and maybe you'll try it one day.